Alright people, Nathaniel here, and in case you didn't know, Hanson vs. Predator, the revival of To Catch a Predator, has yielded its first victims. Well, its first predators, I guess, its first criminals. As Rexor said, oh God. Some Tick says only 10 men in a 4-day sting. It does. At first, I did see that. I was like, it's a bit low. I would have preferred like 50 men, but it's actually quite decent. It's quite impressive. Like, Chris doesn't have the support of NBC again, and I don't think he's working with Perverted Justice. So it might have been just the police doing the entrapment. And forgive me about that, but I think Perverted Justice are the best because they're volunteers, okay? So the decoy is a police officer, and he can be a very good police officer, but you know, he's paid by the hour, and he's not going to do some overtime unpaid, unless it's like the super passionate cop, sorry. But Perverted Justice, I think they're better decoys overall, so that might explain the lower number. Another reason, the time have changed, you know, we're no longer in 2005. People are more cautious. People today, to just walk into a random house to meet a child for sex, and also the age, like 12-year-old, wonder why they made the girl 12-year-old. With that, they're really targeting the real pedos. Like, well, 13 or 12, you know, there's no misunderstanding. Like 15. With 15 years old, you get a 19-year-old show up. You know, it's bad. It's very bad. Make no mistake. But I'm betting this is not the kind of crime they were trying to deter here. So that might explain the lower number. And also, like Kentucky, they did this thing in a small town. They did this thing in a town with 60,000 people, Fairfield, Connecticut. Connecticut is 60,000 people. Riverside at 360,000 people. One last element I would explain 10 men. I would say probably the state itself. Connecticut, it's not a state you associate with child rapists. It sucks to say, but if somebody asked me, hey, where in America do you think you find the most pedophiles? I would say the South. That might be like a you know, a preconceived idea, because there are child abusers everywhere, you know, in every state. But I don't know why I tend to associate at least the kind of predator that get caught like that. I would associate them more with like Florida, Georgia, or more, sorry to say it, but not more southern states. And even in California, like I know it's misleading because they did one in Petaluma, and that's high tech, and they actually caught a lot of perps there. But I don't know, maybe it's just a bad idea. I would say perhaps people in the northern states are a little bit smarter, and maybe they can figure out the trap. I don't know if you look like Connecticut, it's a pretty smart state, you know, pretty smart people. But then again, in Petaluma, they had like plenty of engineers. I don't know. I really don't know. I have to say 10 men is still quite good. I don't know how many were supposed to show up. It's pretty decent. Kentucky, they had 7, but of course they had Lorne, and Lorne counted for like 20 predators. So they have 26 predators in Kentucky. I'm very, very, very curious to look at the men who were arrested. I want to know. So let's look at our first sneak peek at them. I never looked at the pictures before. That's the first time I see them. I'll tell you my reaction of all the suspects, I guess. That's the first one. Yeah, that guy looked like a kid fiddler. Like, if you show me that pic and you say, what do you think this guy was arrested for? He's not the kind of guy that get arrested for passing back checks or shoplifting or drugs. The way he looks like a computer science teacher. Like, somebody would call him Mr. Wilsey. And he's the kind that, you know, he goes to show a kid, oh, I'm going to show you how to program that thing. He says, but sir, we only have one share. Oh, that's okay. Sit on my legs. You know, there's no problem there. He's that kind of guy. A bit nerdy, a bit Dungeon and Dragon. Not just because of the glass, the way he looks, the facial hair. This is a guy who cannot get a girl his age. Not because he's totally ugly. Well, he's fat, but he's not that bad looking. He has just no self-confidence. He was bullied in high school. You can see his heads are awry, so he did cry. He was doing his best not to cry on the mugshot. He realized that he's fucking. He's like, I hope I'm not the first. Like, if I get caught by Chris Hansen, I hope I'm not the first one to get caught because I look like a moron. You know, you go first in the show, you look like an idiot because you're the one that everyone remembers. Like, I don't know, they don't show that in order necessarily, but you understand what I mean. What else to say about him? Not much. Looks like a guy that is decently intelligent. The kind of guy that could be a computer specialist. He could earn 40, 50 bucks an hour just fixing people's systems. I would really put him in the computer field. Or it could be a massive underachiever. But he's well groomed, he's well developed, so I don't think he wasted his life. I think he had a decent job. If I look at him, I think he had a decent job. He has huge problem forming relationship with other people. I don't think he has many friends. I don't think he has deep friendship relationship with people. Kind of a loner, I would say. Probably played video game late at night. A big nose that reeks of alcoholism. The way, but it couldn't. I don't see him as an alcoholic. That guy is a pervert. Probably not exactly a pervert like Twin Toilet, but a pervert like. If I would be very curious to read the chat log, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be pretty wild, but not necessarily evil. Not like, and I just finished a video on Paul Clemente. It's gonna be gross, not like Lauren either, not as specific and as detailed as Lauren, but more like he's gonna write something and he's gonna feel bad about it. His heart is gonna be pumping, and the teenager's gonna say, "Yeah, we can do that," and he's gonna be like, "Oh, really? You would do that? You would let me do anal?" He's the guy. That guy doesn't strike me as someone that is weak. He looks strong. Again, if you showed me a pic of him, I know it's prejudging people, but he looks like a pedo. That one I can tell that's a pedophile here. Next one. Holy shit, what happened to your face? It looked like his face was ironed out, like, you know? Like there's a square here, like... It looks like his face got rolled over by a steamroller, and there's like a square. Look at here, like there's a square here, here. Like his face is square. Like if you told me that's a Photoshop, I would believe you. Like I believe his face was Photoshop. What the fuck? Actually, I know who he looks like. I just realized that. He looks like the guy from the new movie that just came out. I love that movie, by the way. Loved it. He looks like this guy. Let me show you quickly. He looks like this guy. And that's Johnny Depp. Would you recognize him? Would you recognize Johnny Depp here? I did not recognize him. I thought Johnny Depp had a hair, you know? Like that's him. That's some guy. This is a criminal. That's pretty good. He looks like him, but less charismatic, you know, without the makeup and stuff. Like his bones are weird. And look at his ears. This guy has nothing going for him. Like he was born with the worst possible look. Like, dude, even my hairs look like a fucking elf. Like this guy is fucking ugly. That's a fucking weird guy. And his lobes are attached. That's a rare genetic. Well, it's not rare. It's uncommon, I should know. So if you look so far, that one I have a feeling is going to be a very technical interview. Like he's going to try to outwit Chris, or he's not going to talk to Chris. That one I'm guessing is going to talk to Chris Hansen. I'm guessing here. Like, look at that. He looks like a fucking fish. And you can't even look at the camera. He's like... He's like a fish that was taken out of water. And I think it's okay to make fun of them because these are kid rapists. You know, if I saw that guy on the street, I would not believe that he's a child rapist, actually. Like, he doesn't look like one. It might be hard to explain why. You know, you look at him and you say he's so ugly. You can't really molest a kid. The kid's gonna be scared of him. Like, imagine you're 13 years old and you see that guy coming in your house. You're like, ah, ah! And am I the only one that sees that he has that kind of same sad smile as Lauren with the eye? He's obviously been crying and he's like very depressed. Poor guy. Distraught, I should say. And if you compare that to Lauren Armstrong when you get arrested, he kind of looks like him. Like, I want to see the rest now. Look like him. Like, that's Lauren Armstrong mugshot. I wish we could have the eye resolution like him. Like, that's eye resolution. That's HDR. That's kind of unfair for him. Like, nobody's going to forget him now. At least that. He can be like anybody on that pic, really. But now you look at that, you're like, and that's similar kind of smile, like not exactly like frowning, but just sad, like mouths drop. I guess he's a little bit smiling, but Anyway, he doesn't look that good. Anyway, and he looks old. I would say that guy, the hair is obviously dyed. 55. That one, my guess, would be about 52, 53. That one would be about 55, 56. Oh god! Well, I'm gonna skip that one, okay? I'm gonna skip that one. It's too scary. Holy shit! Holy fuck! This is like the guy that got caught twice. Like, yeah, this guy has a mental problem. I'm not gonna make fun of him. He has a blue shirt, and that looks like the same shirt as Lauren. I'm not gonna make fun of him. It's quite obvious that he's mentally challenged. The teeth are round. That's special. That's quite rare. The kind of teeth, the ears, and all that. And I'm not gonna make fun of him. Unless I see him on the show and he's really actually, normal. No offense to people with mental illness. But not mental illness, mental handicap. He's mentally handicapped here, or mentally challenged. This is a guy with a low IQ. I don't even need to go deeper here. Like that just how can I say? We have an expression in my language, but in English I don't know how to say it, like a quidam. Just a random, like, the village idiot, basically. Okay, I already said enough. Next one. Yeah, now that one, I think he's gonna be memorable because he's gonna do some stupid shit during the interview. But I'm not gonna find it funny. But if you do, that's fine, But he looks retarded. He looks like he has a not mental illness, a mental problem. He's not like bipolar and stuff like that. He's really low IQ. That one here doesn't look funny at all. And it looks like the kind of fat guy. No offense to fat people, but I'll say a fat pedo. And that guy. He's a pedophile. He doesn't look like one. He looks like a very normal guy. I hate to say it. That one here doesn't look like a fucking child molester, but with low IQ people, you never know. That one here looks like a normal guy, but he looks like an asshole. Overall, doesn't look like a pleasant person. Like, if I was waiting in line, McDonald's, and he's in front of you, he's going to take forever to order. And he's going to bitch no matter what happens. Like, if the fries are salty, he will complain. If they're not salty enough, he will complain. That's a self-entitled prick. From the pic here, like, I don't even know his name. I didn't Google it. I just saw the pic. Looks like the guy who believes he's on top of the world. And that's the kind of guy that is, in my opinion, very dangerous with children. And they can quickly lose control. Because fat like that, and he's been bullied in high school, like that's pretty obvious. Not just because of his weight, but because his head looks like a penis, But the way he is, the way he stands, that's probably not a bully. That's a bullying victim. Somebody that didn't have many friends growing up, and he grew up not sheltered, but in pain. He grew up in pain of not being in the group and all that, and then eventually became an asshole. That's the next evolution for some people. After that, he became mean. He says, well, if I can't have a normal life and friends and all that, I'm going to be mean and I'm going to act strong. Like, I've been bullied my entire life. Now it's my turn, not necessarily to bully, but to look strong, to look like intimidating. And he kind of enjoyed, like when he tried it, he tried to be mean with people. He kind of enjoyed the way he felt, so he kept that way. That guy I don't think is going to be very interesting. I don't think he's going to talk to Chris. He's a prick. He's too self-absorbed. I'm guessing he's going to run from Chris. Those are my predictions. Next one. Just a bland guy. There's not much to say about him. He has a scar here. Pretty interesting to know the history of that scar, especially here on the eyebrow. Just not someone very interesting. Just a random guy. It could be him. It could be anyone else. Wouldn't make a difference. Still, we know the big cheek. I don't know why. It looks like a... Damn, I need to find it. Like a... I'll tell you who he looks like. Just in a second. Not Echo. Else I can go get it better, but not Bard. No, I'll go on. Let's go for this website, MobaFire. And damn, I can't find it. Where is he? He's a recent. He was just released. Like, he's the big guy that can. I don't want to spoil it, but champion. And I want to see the time they were released. Damn, now I'm gonna look. I have to look at all that. I think it begins with a Q though. No Q. Sorry about that. Worst case scenario, just leave and come back. But that really, I'll get the date. It's very recent. Oh, Tam Kench. That's who he looks like. That guy here. That's the champion he looks like. Let me show you a Heidi picture. You'll see. Like, he looks like him. Like, I don't know if you can see well. I want to get a good picture. That's what he looks like. That's what he looks like. Look at that, how he looks. That's what he looks like with the big jaw. And if he opened his mouth and he had pointy teeth, that would be awesome. I'm gonna eat some kids. I wish he had a mustache like him. But overall, of course, he has a Lorne haircut, but he looks better. He doesn't look bad bald, but he's not very memorable. I'm guessing that one, unless he does something very stupid on camera, he's not going to be very memorable. That's just a random guy. You meet like dozens of guys like that on the street. Not very bright, not very brave, not very normal. Just a loser that you meet on the street randomly. So him, I don't think is going to be memorable. Oh boy. Yeah, that guy. That is exactly one of the archetype of humans I hate. I look at him and he reminds me of someone, and the way he is, the way he stands, like he's arrested. It doesn't look like a mugshot. Give me that. It looks like a professional photo. Like that one looks like a mugshot. There's no doubt. That one here could pass as a classroom picture. That's a mugshot. That one here, it might be like a professional picture. He looks great. Great look, great look. Nice. That's still a kiddie fiddler, but if you set that pic, you don't believe that he's arrested or anything. You believe, oh, that's just a professional picture. His color is a bit messed up, but whatever. That kind of people is the kind of people that can be very, very mean. Like if you meet somebody that looks like that, they're the kind of people that you can't ever trust them. If you see somebody, the way he stands, the way he is, the way he smiles, the way he looks at the camera, that kind of people, you cannot trust him. They're lying all the time, and they're gonna backstab you at the first chance they get. That kind of guy, I think he's going to be in the middle of the pack in terms of being a good predator. That kind of guy, you can't trust them. And also, that's the kind of guy that's very racist. Like you can see, he's not totally Caucasian. I'm guessing half Caucasian, half Philippine, I guess. But that kind of guy can be very racist, actually. And if they decide they don't like you, they won't ever like you no matter what you do. That's the kind of people I try to avoid in my normal life, generally. He's average, above average intelligent. He probably had a good job, probably was earning a good salary. I'm not sure what pushed him into kids. Like that kind of person usually aren't pedophiles. That guy, if you tell me that's a pedophile, I would never believe it. That guy, I could believe it. That guy, especially if he had longer hair here, I would believe it. That guy, I would say, nah, it's not a pedophile. Maybe a fraudster, maybe like a thief, maybe like a embezzlement and stuff. But no, I don't think he's into kid. A surprise, I think that's going to be, as I said, probably above average, like in terms of how interesting it is. Maybe ranked 3 or 4th. Next one. Oh boy! Yeah, that guy. Okay, that guy, yeah. Yeah, that guy. Looks like a shark. I'm not gonna make fun of it. He obviously suffers from a condition, Klinefelter maybe, like the big eyes. He looks like the alien from South Park. You know, when they take like with the big eyes, not those, but like they have big eyes. Like which episode is it? But there's an episode where they have like big eyes and like they're on drug, like. I need to find, what is it? I don't forget the episode, but there's one with the guys and they have like big eyes and they're like, oh hello. Is it the Michael Jackson episode? No, I don't think so. I don't think it's Michael Jackson episode. Oh, damn. I can't find it. There's an episode, I remember it, like they have like big eyes like that and they're like, oh hello, we're all friends. That's what it looks like. That one I'm not gonna find. It's too far away in my memory. That's Dan. But yeah, he does look a bit like that, I guess. You know, a bit. But really, the big eyes guy, or is it the Simpson? Yeah, that's the one. That's the Simpson. My bad. Yeah, that's the one. That's what he looks like. Like oh. But in all seriousness, I would say low testosterone. And he actually might be transgender. I don't know. Maybe he's taking some estrogen. That would explain. I think somebody posted more pictures about him in the here. Yeah. And on that picture, he actually looks decent. I don't know if you can see it. I can't move it. But I can try it back. Okay, on that picture, I think that's yeah, that's him. He looks really nice. That's from his Facebook. He looks really nice. He looks like a nice guy. He looks decent. I would say like he looks great. He's good looking on that picture. Ironically, he looks nice. He looks like a good person. Then again, you can see the way he puts his hand here. He doesn't really want to have his hand here. Like that's it barely touches him. If you grab someone by the shoulder, you're probably gonna put the hand over the shoulder, but you barely touch him, and the thumb is raised. So I'm guessing these trees are not really good friends. Like they're more like close acquaintance. But I would never bet that he's a child molester. That's a surprise for me. Now look at the pic here. Yeah, he obviously has some kind of condition, low testosterone, bad thyroid gland. So I'm not gonna make fun of his appearance because I don't think it's okay. And maybe the fact that he has like low testosterone, maybe that's why he's into kids. Do you think he had a male decoy or a female decoy? He looks gay, he looks homosexual, but I still believe he was a thing on the female decoy. I don't know why. That's my gut feeling. He's obviously not good looking. The jaw is too developed. The rest of the facial features are very like a kid. So he probably has a condition where he has a baby face like for all his life. But yeah, that's quite spooky. And I think there's another actually that people link me to. But I'm gonna look later. All right. I think this one is gonna be one of the best. By the way, he's gonna be in the top so far. Yeah, that's the whole like old pedo. Yeah, that's the kind of guy that you meet like at the bar. Oh no, at a poker table. Like he's the kind of guy you go to the casino and he has a lazy eye and looks like some diabetes. I don't know. Maybe he has some blood problem. The eyes here, I think, is about to be blind in that eye, and that sucks. He doesn't look like a good guy. That looks like an asshole. But not an asshole. Looks like a bad person. Like it's the kind of guy you meet around the poker table, and he's not. Sorry about that. He's not good at poker, and he's kind of mean, but not mean to win because he's losing, because he sucked at poker. He strikes me not specifically as a compulsive gambler, but just the kind of people that you don't want to have at your poker table, were it not for the fact that he loses money. Just an old fuck, an old coot, the kind of old people that is not nice. All those assholes in their 30s, when they grow up, that's what they look like. That's the kind of guy that also believes he's also not very bright, and the little intelligence he has, he burned it with alcohol. So now he's just an asshole. He's just like a ghost. He's a husk. He's the husk of a human being. And that kind of person, usually when they were like, this kind of guy that's gonna yell and scream for no reason, like, I didn't get my beer yet. This is bullshit. It's not good. It's not cold enough. Back in the days, I used to let them do their show. These days, I know how to provoke them. And I have a story about that. I had a guy that looked like that. In fact, that might as well be him, because he's a typical old, late 50s piece of shit. An early 60s piece of shit. And he was like a big idiot. And I was in a tournament poker, and I was like short stack, very short stack. I had something like I had 8 big blinds left. And I get pocket sixes. And that guy had raised me. Like he raised to 3 big blind, and I pushed all in to 8 big blind. And he called me, and he actually had ace king, and I won. And he was really pissed at me, like, you had sixes, why did you push all in? If I had pocket 7, you were losing. If I had pocket 10, you were losing. Like, that guy doesn't get it. And he's always unhappy, always grumpy, just not a nice person in general. But that guy at the poker table, I won the hand. I didn't win the tournament. I did finish in the money. But afterwards, he never forgave me. Like every time I see him, I don't know, he seems to have a memory. Maybe hate does that. That's a piece of shit. That's a fucking asshole. Fuck him. And this guy, he has granddaughter, because that type of guy, I don't know why, but woman would die to be with a guy like that. Like, he's in high demand. So he probably has a couple kids and a couple grandkids. And he probably molested a few of them. If it was, he probably molested his own children. That's the kind of guy. He doesn't give a shit. It's all about him. And I'm guessing he talked to Chris, and I'm guessing he didn't give Chris much room, like a bully, Like somebody that the conversation is going to happen, he's going to look at Chris like, who do you think you are? I did nothing wrong. That's what he's going to do. Fuck that guy. Next one. Oh boy. Oh boy. The nerd of the group. And that is our youngest predator. He looks early 20s maybe. Maybe mid 20s. Get a haircut. Lose 100 pounds. Get some eye surgery. And stop looking that ugly. This is the guy that cannot get laid. I mean, I don't even need to say that. It's that obvious. That's why he goes into kid. He's not really the typical pedophile. He's like, I have one asset. I'm older, so I'm gonna hit on younger girl. And because I'm old, I have my car, I have my apartment. Probably not. Probably live with his parents. But no, actually, the hair. He's actually quite young. Maybe 22, 21, maybe. The face is young. Maybe 21. That would be my best guess. But he's the kind of guy, I'm going to hit on young girls, I'm going to have a car, I have money, so that's how I'm going to rape young girls. And I kind of pity him, or I would pity him, but he looks like a not so nice guy neither. Like, if it was someone that was, like, less stuck up and less dressed up like a fucking asshole, I would feel bad for him. You just know that guy is not a nice person. He's not like Twink Toilet. Like, Twink Toilet is the same style, but older. And I know he was an asshole in real life, but I cannot hate him. That guy, I cannot really hate him, neither. I don't think I'm gonna hate him. I'm gonna remember. I think he's gonna be rememberable, but I don't think I'm going to hate him during the show. Not the kind of guy that I would generally develop a strong hatred or a strong attraction towards. At least at first sight, I don't think so. He's not good looking. He doesn't have much. He's probably a decently intelligent guy. He was bullied in high school. No real girlfriend. No real. He had his friend. He had friends, but like Dungeon and Dragon friends. And the way he ended up there, it's like so improbable. But then again, don't hit on kids, okay? She's 12. They say the decoy was 12, so fuck that. One thing, he does remind me a bit of Jeff Stacy. If he has a voice like Mickey Mouse, I'm gonna laugh. Ugly glasses. Decent clothes. I think he's gonna be rememberable just because he's fat, but other than that, I don't think he has much to offer to us. I hope he has something unique like Jeffrey, or maybe he threatened to kill himself, but he doesn't strike me as that. He probably showed up, he had a short speech with Chris, like, oh, I'm sorry, I know it was wrong. And he left, he was arrested, and that was it. I don't think that's going to be one of the best. That guy, again, if they cut him entirely, maybe even cut him entirely from the show. Like, they have 10, they kind of have to show all of them. He's ugly, a large face. I'm not sure what he could do to look better. Lose some weight, maybe. Get another haircut. That's not very pretty given his face. You probably would want some sideburns, something to hide his little bit of his cheek. Like, the cheeks are so big compared to the ears. Does he have a problem? What's with people in big jaws? Like, this is bizarre. Like, his jaw is very nice here. He's not photogenic. Should learn about being more photogenic. There's nothing really special about him. He's not very bright. Probably somebody that could plateau at about $12-14 an hour as a job. I would be surprised like if he made $70,000 a year. Probably has a job like administrative somewhere or assembly. Maybe not physical, but something not too hard and not too lucrative. No, he's not good looking. I'm not sure what. He seems to be regretful of what he did. I don't think we're gonna have much to eat with him, to say so. Not bad looking, not bad clothes, not bad grooming. Just an average guy. There's not much to see about him. He's not memorable. And finally, we have this guy. He actually goes great. He has a great suit. That's an expensive suit. I would say probably $700, my guess. The tie is nice, so I don't know how he was caught hitting. Oh, that's Chris Henson. Oh, sorry. And I was looking at the mugshot and I was really hoping to see Lauren Armstrong. That would have been funny. Like Lauren says, I'm going to move to Connecticut and get a new start in life. And then he gets caught again. I think it would have killed me. Like I would be dead. I would get a heart attack because that's too much. So that's about it. That's the picture. Let's see what they say. Computer contact, 13-year-old boy, 12-year-old girl. 5 out of state from the region, sting operation. So I'm guessing, wow, didn't get the address until the very last minute. Officer able to identify. They didn't offer any explanation to the police, although many had a conversation with Ensign. I say it's Ensign, you idiots. I'm glad about that. I'm glad about the conversation regarding why they were there. I can say they were surprised to see us, Hines said, adding Ensign was non-committal in his conversation with the man as to whether police would be involved. When they walked out, they were surprised at the situation they had put themselves in. Harry have camera hidden within the house. That's great. Oh man, I want to see that so bad. Many of the time was spent waiting for them to arrive, blah blah blah. Left the house when Ensign walked in the kitchen. Oh, Chris, he said, and turned and walked out the door, only to be taken into custody. I'm very like now. I'm very, very, very excited to see that. Like I really want to see it. The best one, that guy, maybe. That guy is gonna be memorable. That's why he's really one of the best. Kind of looks like that guy. He's gonna be memorable, perhaps, but not for the right reason. Memorable because he's kind of crazy. It's obvious he's on some drugs or he has a mental condition. That guy, a little bit. That guy, a little bit. That guy might be interesting. That guy will be interesting. That guy, I wouldn't be surprised if he talked for a very long time. Like, he seems a bit like a doctor, like the doctor from Virginia, but more retarded, like less smart, and much more ugly. That guy, I'm sure I've seen it before. Maybe that's the guy from. I'm sure. Maybe that's the guy from my poker. I would need to check his name, but he's identical to him. Like that's crazy. Or is that a fake eye? I don't think there's a fake eye. I think he's turning blind. Look at the red here. He's turning blind. Probably diabetes, something like that. That one, if he talks, is going to be memorable. That one too. That one, not really. So that's about it. I hope you appreciate it and have a good night, everyone.